The villainous heroine was pinned down by the scheming pup, and he even confessed to her in front of everyone. This instantly made the crown prince, whose proposal had failed, unable to sit still. Not long ago, the empress gifted a pair of bracelets to Feng Yufei, forcing her to marry the crown prince. Of course, Feng Yufei wouldn't let them have their way. At the palace banquet that day, Feng Yufei spoke up, saying she had a request. "Your Majesty, I admire a man in my heart. I wish for your grace to grant me a marriage with him." Hearing this, everyone thought she was referring to the crown prince. But the sharp-eyed empress saw through the trick immediately. If she truly loved the crown prince, why would she keep finding excuses to avoid this marriage? So she used the emperor as an excuse to reject Feng Yufei's request. But Feng Yufei remained calm. After all, her plan had only just begun. Meanwhile, the crown prince, who had been waiting for an outcome, was confused. Feng Yufei had clearly been poisoned, yet there was still no word from the physician. The empress revealed that this poison had been altered. No physician in the capital could cure this poison. Each day, the pain would feel like bones being crushed, a torment like having one's heart ripped out. Even a man wouldn't be able to endure it. If Feng Yufei wanted the antidote, she had no choice but to accept this marriage. But the empress wasn't worried about Feng Yufei. She was more concerned about a secret from 8 years ago. Just then, a maid rushed in to report, "Your Majesty, Fengming Palace is on fire." The empress's face turned pale with shock. She immediately led her people to check the situation. But everything was part of Feng Yufei's plan. Her goal was to ensure that the emperor and empress met while rushing to the fire. Then, using assassins she had arranged, she would lure them to the fourth prince's Kaiwa Palace. Now, all she had to do was sneak into Kaiwa Palace and stage a scene of her being intimate with the fourth prince. Once the emperor saw this, he would never marry her off to the crown prince. As soon as Feng Yufei entered the room, she noticed a man standing in the bath. Thinking it was the fourth prince, she jumped in without hesitation. But when the man turned around, she realized it was the third prince, Zisu. "What are you doing here? This is the fourth prince's chamber." "That's exactly what I should be asking you. If you thought I was my fourth brother, why did you jump into his bath?" Feng Ya ... "Are you planning to seduce all of father's sons? I had no choice." "Is that so?" His eyes gleamed with amusement. In one swift motion, he pulled her into his arms. "Since my fourth brother isn't here, how about I help you with your plan instead?" The sudden closeness made Feng Yufei blush. He actually figured out my plan. Just then, a voice rang out from outside. "What are you two doing in there?" At that moment, a whole crowd, led there by the black-clad assassins, arrived. Seeing the intimate scene before them, the onlookers couldn't help but gossip. "Didn't we all think that Lady Feng was in love with the crown prince? But now she's embracing the third prince instead. Could it be that when she asked for a marriage decree, she was actually referring to him?" The empress knew this was all Feng Yufei's scheme to escape her engagement. To prevent the emperor from believing it, she quickly interjected, "There must be some misunderstanding." The crown prince panicked as well. "Father, Yufei and I have known each other for years. She would never do something like this. But look at third brother, his robes are in disarray, while Yufei's clothes are perfectly intact. Clearly, things may not be as they seem." With the situation at this point, Feng Yufei decided to roll with it. Indeed, just as His Highness said, the third prince was clearly bathing, and I, fully clothed, was the one who entered afterward. I must confess, I was momentarily bewitched by the third prince's beauty. "I am guilty, Your Majesty. Please punish me." "That's not what I meant." The crown prince was stunned. He never expected her to use his own words against him. Feng Yufei seized the moment. "Your Majesty, do you remember when I begged you for a marriage decree in Fengyang Palace? The man I truly adore is the third prince, but he has always ignored me. So I thought to use your authority to pressure him. Today, feeling stifled, I went for a stroll, and just happened to overhear that the third prince was bathing here. So I sneaked in, hoping to seduce him." Feng Prime Minister, her father, yanked his daughter out furiously. Then, with a resounding slap, he scolded her for being shameless. Zizu's hand twitched midair. He felt a pang in his heart. But this was not the time for him to interfere. The next moment, the Prime Minister knelt down and pleaded, "Your Majesty, I have failed as a father. Please punish me accordingly. I am no longer worthy of my position at court. I humbly request Your Majesty's permission to retire, so I may properly discipline my daughter." The Empress ground her teeth in frustration. That cunning old fox. He knew the Emperor would never let him resign. And without that, how could there be severe punishment? The Emperor, now thoroughly exasperated, held his throbbing head in frustration. At that moment, Zisu calmly stepped out of the bath. "This is all my fault, father. If punishment is due, let it be mine." Feng Yufei's heart clenched. I just got myself out of this mess. The emperor was confused. According to Feng Yufei's statement just now, this matter has nothing to do with you. So what mistake have you made? Are you saying Feng Yufei just lied to me? He didn't lie. He just misunderstood all along. In truth, I have admired Feng for a long time. Feng Yufei's face turned bright red in shock. Does he even know what he's saying?